Shalom Avruch, Agit Meir Shabbos. Parshas Baha'alotcha. So in Parshas Baha'alotcha, Sanedis, Milpnei, Melech, Yeshua Sanedis. So as Chassidus explains, that the 7 candles are the Zim Midas, the 7 attributes, and each person has their way of expression. All expressions are made out of all the other expressions, but everybody has an expression that's dominating, Gevura or Chasadim. So all the intention has to be to the center line, which is the Keser. Everything was pointed to the Keser. So what's the Keser? What's the Keser when it comes down into the Teferes, into the center line, which is the Milpnei Menayah, which is Kois Lamaruvi, which is Shechina, which rests in each and every one of us. It's trying to, even more so. It's broken vessels, but as the vessels are healing, so Shechina can dwell and enter, which is who we are, which is who we are waking up to, becoming mindful of. Das, presence, Keser. So the center line, what's holding us back from the center line is shame. Shame is what's holding us back from the center line. What is shame? Shame came into existence once there was duality. So when Adam and Chava ate from the Eitz Hadas, Tov v'Ra, all of a sudden they felt exposed and they covered themselves. And he said, Hashem asked him, why are you hiding? He said, I feel I'm naked. There is a certain shame. There was a certain shame. What is the shame? The shame is the nachash, which is the snake skin. Aram Mikoil, which is also a lashon of shame. He's a trickster, shameful. So shame is duality. That's where shame comes in, which means that we are experiencing ourselves in duality, in double. So once that happens, that the other side of that is full of judgments. It's full of judgments. It judges itself that it's not good, and it judges that's what it is. That's the essence of it. Is shame and guilt, and then projecting that on others, and then when it's being projected back, and then it becomes too much for the body to process it, and we start hating. We hate because it's something that we can't have. Something that I can't have, then there is that. If you can't join him, fight him. That's the nachash. That's the nachash, and that is the shame. That is from going into the shame, and going to the end with it until you get to the Kois Lamaravi, which is choice. Choice is bechira. Bechira is having the ability to evolve and not break, because in the beginning the world was created. They actually wanted to create the world with midas adin, which is only gevura, which is no choice. Because the minute you do something not aligned, there will be a judgment immediately. There will be a response, because there is no intermediary. It's just judgment. It's the world out of gevura. So it's an eye for an eye, literally. So it's almost like the pressure was so much that the person just would have exploded. The vessel would have exploded. It wouldn't be able to hold. The light wouldn't be able to hold, because it would be an eye for an eye. So he shitted him a chesed, chasadim, or only chasadim wouldn't work either. So we combine the two, and this is the space that we exist in. So we have choice. Choice is the process of evolution. Whatever is happening is happening. We are on the train. It's happening through us. It's evolving through us. We're just waking up to choosing it, to choosing the processing, to choosing wherever you are and whatever spin it is. Choose it. Continue going with the spin until it spins out. Because the not allowing it to spin out is the shame, and that's what keeps the lock. That's what keeps the person locked in. When we're having shame, we're having secrets from self. It's almost like when speaking to somebody that triggers a secret, something inside. There is a separation there. There's a separation there that we're not allowing, that one person is not allowing the other in. So that separation causes separation, and separation is at the lowest level is separation. The more separation, the lower the level is. So, but at the same time also exists the reality of non-duality, where everything is just one. Before duality, before there was shame, before there was an opposition of shame, of nachash. And when you enter that space of oneness, where what's oneness, where there is no judgments and there's no shame, then we are in that space, in the space of oneness, not duality. Now, oneness has levels, doesn't mean it's yichida yet, but it's oneness. You are in dveikus, you are connected, and it's duality. They both exist. Whatever you're looking for doesn't have to be down the line. It's right here, right now. It's not happening linear. It's happening from la'arka la'ragva. I'm sorry, from la'ragva, from right to left. Daram tzafim. Mizrach ma'arav, that's the center. Shechina and Kitchubrechi, Mizrach. So going from shame, going into the source of it, which is duality, which is judgment, then, and understanding now that your pain that you're experiencing is part of the chasadim, which is part of the bechira of allowing evolution to happen. When the baby is born, there is pain. And then there is pain raising the child, raising our child as we're raising our other child. It's just an extension. It's all just an extension. The illusion is because when we die, we lose das, so we can't trace it back only to 1 or 2 generations, 3 generations back, because you don't know your great-great-grandfather anymore. Now it's becoming more easier, but because 40-year-olds have grandchildren already, so you have, because we can't trace it back, that gives us the illusion of, once again, the duality, because what is duality? It's a separation. Separation comes from the nachash, and the dying is the nachash process, because there is no das, there is no knowing. The part that knows never dies. So by going into oneness, that's the part that knows. That's the chelik that knows, and that never dies. And from that place, we could remember that it's just a hemshech, and it's a process that is always here. There's a part within us that's always here, that never left. There always will be here. So that is the baha'alotcha saneres. When you're lighting up your fire, you're lighting up your candles and your actions and your mindfulness. It has to be emil panei menorah. It has to be for the intention to go to the center. Otherwise, it goes, as the Nachman calls it, Rachman is the klippa, which is achzurius. Achzurius. Why achzurius? Why is Rachman is the klippa achzurius? Because when you feel sorry for yourself, that keeps you in shame, and that keeps you locked up, and that's achzurius. That's murder. Versus Rachman is the kedusha is going and forcing the putting your intention to the center, to your shechina, to the inside, to baha'alotcha saneres and emil panei menorah. So we have that, and there is, this week is it's a very big parsha. We're talking here about, we have
The next thing is that the Mishkan was moving, so that means that the Aron HaKodesh was moving where the Luchas were, and it was moving. It was a whole process with Chatzotzers, and there were sounds, and I mean it was told to make the Chatzotzers. So then we have there were 7 Ananim, 7 clouds, 7 volcanoes of protection, which is once again the 7 midas, and then we were in the center of that. And then we have the what else we have here? They wanted meat. All right. So once again, this was not Bnei Yisrael. This was just the Erev Raf and the Asaf Seif, and es hat sich herangehabt. Es hat sich herangehabt in the consciousness. Es hat sich herangehabt, an Erev Rav, and that's what needs to have a bitter. And then we have also the Miriam and Aaron were talking to Moshe Lashon Hara about his Isha Kushis, and then they got Tzaras, and he asked, and they were healed. So there's a lot to process here. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. A lot of messages, but coming back to Balois Chasaneres, coming back to the center. So.
The Nakuda is to seeing it, like training your eye to see it from a place of duality. Because if two things coexist, then how do they coexist? Right, on every level, in the body and in the Hageshim, the feelings, the thoughts, they coexist in the whole. It's how they coexist. It's more of a. It's more in a ruach, more of the spirit. It's more of the machshava. It's the breath. It's a softer expression. So viewing it objectively, look at yourself objectively. Start training yourself to step out of your space, which is where you're at in the struggle, and then going to who you are. And who you are is where you want to be. Who you want to be. What is it that you want? That's who you are. So looking at it from that place, and who you are and who you want to be is in that space. It's not in the Chomer Levanim. It's in that space of seeing it from duality, but stepping in and seeing yourself from outside in. Through where you're at right now, going into where you want to be, and just lighting that up to where you want to be, which is who you are. Your Ratzon, that's who you are. And if you don't like what you want or what you see, then go somewhere, try something deeper, something more meaningful, finding and asking tefillah, opening up to receiving, putting out the letters, the oasis, so they can come back. And the oasis can be, the tzerufim can be, they can be created. So if you send out your intention and then you speak out your daven, your tefillah, you speak out those words, so those oasis can come back in a tzeruf of shefa and healing. Have an awesome Shabbos. Chaim l'vracha.